And with that, the stream has begun.
You know, thinking about it, some of those old metal lunchboxes might have been repurposed toolkits, because a lot of it is sort of like with the coal miners and whatnot. You bring your lunch
Oh,
with
yeah.
you, and then have your break. So it's not something I had ever thought about, but now that you've said it and I'm thinking about it, it wouldn't surprise me if some of the old metal lunchboxes were actually toolboxes that they just decided to put a sandwich in.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Also, welcome to the stream, everybody. We're talking lunchboxes.
I'm now looking up like old lunch boxes like, as well, and the old ones are like made of metal or wood, but they don't really look like what you showed me. So
I mean, it depends on
they're
how
also
far back.
colored.
Ooh.
We were like, slap some color in it, baby.
That looks like it contains
that's
like an
another
old
one.
gas lamp or something. It doesn't.
I mean, it looks a lot like newer like lunch boxes. Like they don't usually have like the clips anymore, but or at least not like metal clips, but
Hi, Christy.
oh, that one looks a lot like the one I had as a child.
Ah!
Hey.
Oh, look at that good cat. I thought that was like a vector graphic of a lunchbox. It didn't actually look real. It looks like an icon. It looks like an icon for a lunchbox app.
No, it's not. I promise.
It's all of those clean lines and the lack of shadows around it.
Okay, wait. Here's one with Miffy on it.
Oh, is that what that rabbit's called?
In English, we call it Miffy.
Iffy. Okay.
In Dutch, we don't call it that.
What did you call it in Dutch?
Dutch, we call Nijntje.
Huh?
Because I presume it comes from like konijn, which is rabbit or bunny, and then like the latter part nine, and then the ch of like making something small. Remember that I told you that?
Yes, you did. I mean, I forgot it until you just said it, because I'm terrible with languages, but... Yeah, welcome to Lunchbox Talk. That's what this stream's about. Cat, puppets, and lunchboxes. How's everybody? How are you, Christy? You good? Apart from you. You draw a circle, 2 eyes, some ears, a cross mouth, and there you are. It's Kirby.
I mean, for Kirby, not floppy, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the rounded bits that would need to be more at the bottom of the feet.
I was going to say, maybe it's an upside down Kirby with a target on his head. Yeah. Ninja. Whatever. I barely know how to speak English.
I mean, we like mashing letters together and making new sounds.
That seems to be a theme just all throughout that region of Europe. There was a crochet pattern I was trying to read through that was in German, and it's just kind of like, gee, there's a lot of compound words in here that are like half a line long.
I mean, yeah, the Germans are worse than us when it comes to compound words, but we make up to it. We make up for it by having compound letters, essentially.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like
you can keep the character count down if you would just invent new characters.
You have this, which are technically 2 letters, but we do it as like one sound.
There's a shark.
And
Ah,
just like this, that's also one sound. Uh, Hi, Lewis.
tis
Oh,
I.
tis you.
Shark.
And Shock. Welcome to Lunchbox Talk.
Oh,
Welcome to Lunchbox Talk.
what did I had a silver Action Man plastic one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Action Man. Can I find it?
I mean, I've had several, but I can remember the red one the best.
Oh, not the orange one.
I'm tempted to explain why we were talking about this, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's fair.
The clues,
I mean,
the clues are available. Work
I
it out.
also had like the red one, but with like a green lid for my brother's lunchbox, which
That's nice. So when you see a car driving down
I
the street,
mean,
like one of the doors is a different color.
yeah, I mean, if it fits, you might as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are like the same size. Unless you get one that's like specifically bigger, but like a lot of the children's one at least are like the same size.
Let's play. What's the longest compound word you can think of? I mean, English does
I
have those, but they're
can
usually technical. They're usually like anti-disestablishmentarianism or something like that.
You
I
beat me
can
to it.
Yeah.
I
In
can
which case, you're not using that in casual conversation unless
Yeah.
you've got some just really
What
weird
was it?
conversations you're having.
I can tell you guys a Dutch kind of nonsense compound word. Like it does like technically mean something, but like
It technically means something.
like all of the individual words mean something and like together it means something, but it doesn't really make sense.
That's fair.
Hold on, let me write it out. Let's see if I can.
and then we all get to try and pronounce it.
Yes.
Is this going to turn into a
Where's my
draw native words stream?
What was it?
I don't know, but for some reason I can't. Can I stop selecting like one pixel? Trying
Danagi.
to. Hmm.
Anyway, how are you doing, Lewis? You alright?
I have an exam tomorrow, so I'm kind of just like
Oh dear.
finish a revision for the day and now trying to find things to stick my head in, so I'm not thinking about it.
Oh,
That's
I'm
fair.
writing in white. That's why.
Well,
That's
unless
what
you're
Already?
unless your exam is about
Didn't your classes start like this week? This last week?
Say again?
Didn't your classes just start this last week and you already have a test?
Me?
Yeah, you drove off to uni earlier, didn't you? Or were you on a break in the middle of?
Eh?
When did your
Oh,
semester start?
I drove down from my home
ooh.
to where to my
Mm, hold
from
on.
where I live to Swansea. So that I have a place in Swansea to stay doing exams.
Oh, we're still going. Okay.
So the classes haven't started.
There we go. It it can go on longer, but
I
this
drove
is
down to
technically 4 words smashed into one.
Sorry, there's two conversations happening at once.
sorry, I drove from home to the city where my university is, so I could catch up with people and revise together. And I
I
actually
see.
have exams tomorrow.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of this word is the bit where it says 10 4 times in a row. Otten, totten, ten to stelling sterine. Otten, totten,
Yeah.
ten tune stelling sterine.
See, at this point in mathematics, we'd say we're not writing that word out. We're going to use a symbol instead.
Yes.
I mean, I can make it longer if you want.
This is epsilon. Deal with it.
I can't find my lunchbox, so they will not be any pictures of it today.
No, what will you eat now?
I
Now
mean,
I just use lock and locks these days.
You remember from the app that all 3 10s are pronounced differently. Why? This isn't English.
I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of like a nonsense compound word. It's more like to demonstrate to other people usually. Like it's usually said as like a joke of like this is how long a word can be.
That's fair.
It
I mean,
does
German's
mean
pretty bad for
something,
it,
it's
isn't it?
kind of nonsense. It's like, because this is like one word, Hottentotten, which is like a name for like some tribe in Africa, I think, like the Hottentots. Then you have Tenten, which are tents.
Fair.
Tentoonstelling. Uh, there. Tentoonstelling is a. God, what's the word? Hold up.
It does.
Germans are silly.
I like.
I'm Dutch.
Yeah, this is Dutch.
Yeah,
It's
I know. I just sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, we were talking
It's
about German compound words and stuff.
yeah. It's an tentoonstelling is exhibition. Then the S is like to like put it together.
Yeah, glue.
And terrein is terrain.
Right.
So technically it's like in the exhibition terrain of like Hottentot tents. Like that's what it means, but it's kind of nonsense, and
Yeah.
usually people make it even longer.
As you would. I just like that the place you've written it means that on the stream it's under your name, which it makes it look like you have a very interesting nickname.
Yeah, exactly.
This feels like a buffalo situation.
Yeah.
Where you just keep adding things to make it more ridiculous.
What's that one?
That is the longest word in the German dictionary, and it means motor vehicle liability insurance.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Kraftfahrzeug.
Kraftfahrzeug Haftpflichtversicher. Wait, I need you to
Versicherung.
Google. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fahrzeug.
Yeah, I probably could have figured that one out, yeah.
You needed to let the idiot British person try it first.
Yeah.
That's me.
Of course. It's funny when you guys pronounce stuff.
Okay, we got another one in chat. I don't even.
They shall.
See, I'm just slightly dyslexic in the sense that if like there's like I can read things, but if there's a whole lot of things all squished together, my brain just sort of skips over it and says we're not dealing with this today.
Yeah.
What you have just typed out, my brain is going, nah, we're just not going to try and figure out how any of this works.
Special something. What's the
I mean, I can see stabiliseringsperiode. I don't. Yeah.
Switched on the stream. What is this cat screaming in the corner?
It's a cat.
It's the mood for today.
Okay.
Is it hippopotamonstrossequipedaliophobia or something like that? Is the phobia of long words? I think that was one of the joke ones.
Yeah, but I believe that's just one very long word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but my question still is, why do you have one word instead of just having it be a bunch of descriptors on the word?
Why do you have a sentence
when
why do you have a sentence when a word could do? How do you look up a sentence in a dictionary?
I mean, what I don't get is that you English folk like split up all your words. Like I get if it's like too long, then it gets kind of confusing. But like, you can put two words together.
No, you can't. Monosyllabic only.
Outrageous.
I'm just
thinking of like if you were trying to type this out on a piece of paper or, God forbid, on a typewriter, like that's going to be an entire line on your document.
Yeah.
But you just typed there, Festive.
This is why Twitter wasn't invented in these countries.
Listen, we need more characters.
Wait a minute.
Actually, that does remind me. I have to post. What was it? Terry Tethrothothi Tarata Destaculated Tethrothoth and Lack.
Is that the latest character in your new
Guardians
of the Galaxy series?
Yes, Googles of the Galaxy. The next one is.
That's the.
Terry Tethrothothi turreted destaculated Tethrothoth and lack. And I have no idea what else I'm going to be able to fit into the tweet about it. So that was just literally, there's a big list of stupid number names, and I picked the longest one and the shortest one. There's longer ones, it turns out, but you know, Danish typewriting must have been hell. So I wouldn't mind, but purely from a sort of my sort of coding brain standpoint, like, you also have access to more letters, which means that arguably words can be shorter because you can have more distinct, shorter words with more letters. Then again, I guess that gets
it's
confusing.
like with using kanji in Japanese. There's more symbols, so you can just use 2 symbols to describe a complex topic instead of 20.
And that's why old JRPGs, the dialogue is so bad, because they had to try and fit in the same number of characters the English translation compared to the Japanese one. And thus you got sentences just missing words.
Text boxes too, because the text boxes are made for smaller words as well.
Yeah.
But we do still like use the same alphabet. Like letters don't just automatically like mean things.
No,
That's
but you
the
have
difference.
like you there are other letters. You, like you say, you make hybrid letters and things like that. You also have like things like umlauts, which can change. Or it's just a distinct. If you have a distinct spelling, then you can have a distinct word, if that makes sense, even if they're pronounced similarly. Like
fish in a barrel.
What?
Sorry, zoning out a little.
That's fair. There is no focus to this. There's 21 minutes into the stream. We don't even know what this stream is. So.
Used to be
right now it has been lunchboxes and phonics.
Well, I mean, that's interesting because we still use like I'm talking to Chrissy right now. So.
Yeah.
But we still use the like 2 A's after one another as like it's in the same line as like all the others. We just mash all the vowels together. Well, not in the French way. We mash 2 vowels together like at a time.
Yeah, not 4 plus.
No. And we do tend to pronounce at least half of them.
Yeah.
Or they have a new sound, but that's not like.
Do you know what? We have these 4 or 5 vowels in a row. Do you know what'll make this better? If it's a single vowel sound and we put an X on the end for fun. That's French, as far as I can see. As somebody who studied French for 3 years.
Just feel like it.
Yeah.
We do use umlauts sometimes, but not like generally.
Yeah, we don't really have accents. And umlauts and such.
I mean, there are words. Hold on, let me remember how to write this.
Tween. Tween.
Where's the umlaut go?
Twin.
Here? No, it's here, I think. Hold on. I need to look this up. I can't remember.
Also, this is behind your name.
Yeah, it's on that one. Okay. Yeah. 22. It's a compound word, which, again, like it's twee, and 20. But because like that one ends with an E and that one begins with an E, there is an umlaut. But it's 22.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like 22. 2 and 20.
If I can write this. My pen works with me. I just dropped half my pen in water, so
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, but you know.
Oh no, that's not good.
Was the back end, so maybe it's fine. But yeah, 22. 2 and 20.
2 and 20. How many languages do it that way around? Because that does seem a lot of languages seem to do that as opposed to 22. I feel like English is the odd one out here.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I think French is the odd one out.
Yeah.
That'd be.
When it comes to that.
Yeah. I mean, at least.
They do the math inside like numbers.
I mean, it's one thing if you're looking at words that are generated from cultures that aren't using a base 10 system, because obviously those are going to look a little different anyway.
Yeah.
But French
Mouth.
is weird.
Yeah.
I can't
But
remember
yeah,
what 20
it is definitely something to get used to when we start like using the English language. It's I would believe one of the like more common mistakes that like Dutch people fall into.
Yes, bully them.
Because why is it suddenly the other way around? Why do you start with that one?
And is
Why do you
commutative.
start with the bigger one?
Or symmetric, I should say.
Mm.
I mean, at least with this one, it doesn't matter what order you write the numbers in. You're right either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 and 20
2.
is 20 and 2. Addition is commutative.
Yeah.
Draw
And then
French
you've got
meow.
French numbers. So weird. Is it then? Is it? Do they go weird with the 90s as well, or are they okay with those?
Ooh,
I
the
thought
French?
that's where it goes. Yeah, I seem to remember
Yeah,
that
that's
being
right.
a
It
strange.
goes 4/20/17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're like, yes, good.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
the verbal equivalent of an imperial measurement system. It's like okay, yeah, so it's a four
See,
dozen and 17. Well, not four score and 17.
At least with the imperial measurement system, I have a good idea of where those dividers come from. Mainly, it's mainly based off of just measurements that we would usually do. So usually, if you are taking something and you're splitting it up into groups, you're splitting it into halves, thirds, or fourths, which is why you've got some of those measurements. Now, some of the measurement jumps seem weird. Like if you're going from feet directly to miles, you're just kind of like, well, where did that come from? That came from multiple measurements that are in between that we just don't use anymore. Because it turns out, for the most part, in general, you pretty much just need inches, feet, yards, miles, and then anything in between then is just sort of not necessary. But going between them, it's like, okay, everything in between is multiples of 2s, 3s, and 4s. Why there's a 17 in there, I have no idea.
My mind just kind of goes blank every time like the imperial system is like used in any shape, way, or form.
You're just like, hell yeah.
I can never, because some of them are like, some of them are 12th, some of them are 16th, some of them are 14th. I think like actually 14th I think is stone and pounds, but Americans don't use stone. It's
Sometimes
I'm
during
okay with not
RPGs
using
describe something in feet, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, sure. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things in the there's a lot of technical measurements in the empirical system that haven't been used because, for the most part, we don't need them. We just sort of focus on a few things. And the fun thing is, you've got a similar thing with metric. For the most part, you're talking about measurements in terms of millimeters, meters, and kilometers.
Mhm.
Millimeters being sort of equivalent to an inch, meters being sort of equivalent to a yard, and kilometers being sort of equivalent to a mile. So more or less the same units that we mostly use with the empirical system as well, which I find funny. If you're in the sciences, you'll probably use some other measurements like micrometers and whatnot, but that's because that's what the metric system was designed for, making it easier to convert things with science. Meanwhile, the empirical system was just sort of made using whatever measurement splits was convenient for what people were doing. So no standardization, which is why it's weird. There's no consistent rules because that's not how humans make things. We just sort of do what's convenient and then keep doing it.
There is no.
I love that this Meowth has a bread on his forehead.
Well, it's French. Not gonna have the coin. It's gonna be a baguette. So many feet to a mile than meters to a kilometer. I think I've mentioned this before on stream, but one of my favorite sort of coincidences is that the ratio of miles to kilometers the ratio of kilometers to miles is surprisingly close to the golden ratio, which means that you can use
it's like
any
1.61 something something.
Yeah, it's oddly close, which means that you can take any two numbers in the Fibonacci sequence and use those as a comparison. So I remember I was taught in school there's roughly 8 kilometers to 5 miles, because 8 and 5 are next to each other in the Fibonacci sequence. Or you can do 13 and 8, roughly 13 kilometers to 8 miles, and it gets at least up to a point.
I wasn't taught that in school.
No, you were just taught kilometers, like a sensible country. We were taught both.
Yeah. I mean, like, meters to kilometers and, like, everything in between that and whatever. And centimeters and decameters and whatever.
Have you ever seen centiliters used in anything other than wine?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Engineering exams?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
I have seen it I see it when we need to get the, like, measuring cup out. When we need to measure stuff for baking.
Oh, right, okay.
It's on the measuring cup.
See, we just use milliliters.
Yeah, that's on that too.
The only thing I've really seen it in is with like medical conversion stuff, but again, usually they'd focus more on the milliliters thing, unless you're just making a lot of medication, I guess.
What the heck, freaking Yale school you go to?
I mean, there's a joke I could make here about having been to Yale. But the joke here is that there is a small town in my state called Yale that I don't know why it's called Yale. It's just called Yale. There's nothing really there except for like a dairy store.
Well, why is Yale
to the Yale School of Dairy Store?
I mean,
and I mean, the only reason I drive through it is because I usually try to avoid the toll road because it is long and boring and does not have many offerings.
Like, my brain was about to say Wensley Yale, and I don't honestly think anyone is gonna know what I'm talking. Like, it's just like there is no other environment in which that could be a joke, and it's barely a joke here. But my brain wouldn't leave it alone, so I had to say it. Vinegar comes in milliliters. Yeah, I don't know why it's just always using milliliters, even though it's, you know, almost always divisible by 10. So centiliters would be the more obvious one, but it's like in a game show where it's
but
like.
Again, we have the thing of there are certain units that. Certain units that have enough difference between them that we just sort of focus on them. So again, with liters, the big ones we focus on are liters and milliliters. You don't use much in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, centiliters is very much less used than milliliters, yeah, but there's another step in between it, like deca.
Yeah, I've literally never
gets
seen
used
that.
at all.
Yeah. It's theoretically there.
There, I had to learn it. I had to learn it when I was in primary school.
Maybe centiliters is used for wine and decaliters is used for vodka because it's there in spirit.
What?
I don't know. What's this stream?
You think I know what I'm talking about?
We didn't come up with a plan, and then we started talking about like breads, about lunch boxes. I keep wanting to say like bread boxes because that's the closest translation, but you know.
The fun thing is,
oh, I found your white lines.
In English.
Yeah,
like we do have boxes we call bread boxes. It's just that it's a box in your kitchen that you keep the bread loaf in.
Oh yeah, we call those bread boxes also the same word. You keep your bread in there.
So there's the bread box that you keep at home, and then there's the bread box you take to work.
Yeah.
Insert meme of, no, we have bread box at home.
Alright, listen. The bread box you take along with you is obviously smaller because the actual bread box, like you keep at home, has to fit at least one actual bread in there. Um,
One actual bread, please.
Yeah, one. I mean, one whole bread. I'm
Give me
sorry.
a real, not one of these pretend. Yes, give me the real bread.
Dear baker, sir, please give me one of your finest actual breads. I just love the idea of going into a bakery and ordering actual bread.
I mean, what was it? Ireland that said that Subway's bread wasn't actually bread because it had too much
Yes.
sugar in it.
Yeah, it's cake.
Which I just find really funny because I mean there are breads out there that are more sugary and sweet, but I wouldn't call them cake because there's usually like a difference in texture between bread and cake.
There's a lot of difference in texture between breads.
That too. But I guess it's one of those things where like there's technically a couple of places in the United States where rabbits are considered fish.
What?
Well, rabbit meat, I should say, is considered fish.
Is it for religious purposes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that works. Okay.
I've heard about that. Beavers are, I think, also classified as fish for the same reason.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about like bread or cake because
because that's a weird question.
different words in different languages
cake,
have different meanings.
Yeah,
Know.
we've been over like, you know, what is a pancake and things like that. What is pudding? Food has different words in different places, but
yeah.
Well, and the fun thing is with pudding it. I mean, at least with pancake, there might be some differences, but there's like a general consensus of it's a cake type thing that you can make in a pan, and it's usually sort of flat-ish, even if it's puffy. But with pudding, there's a big difference between some of the puddings that you see here in the States and some of the things that I've seen out of the UK that people call pudding.
Pudding is just pudding is just a meal here. It is. It's a course in a meal. It's not an actual food.
Sweeties.
It's just what we call dessert.
I mean, yeah, kind of the same over here. Like, pudding isn't like all desserts, but it is like encapsulating more desserts than like other things. Because pudding isn't, it's never like solid here, I think. Yeah, it's always kind of gloopy or liquidy or something along those lines.
And that's exactly how we want it.
Again, I think it's the distinction between pudding and a pudding. We wouldn't the things that we refer to as pudding over here we would not call a pudding. It is just it's pudding.
A little bit of pud.
Little pud, yeah.
A bit
of pud.
But then again, having said that, there are things like Yorkshire pudding, which
is none of the above.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll be honest. It's nice, but it's just like batter cooked into a shell that you have with gravy and things. Not even sweet. You could have. I guess you could make a sweet Yorkshire pudding. You have Yorkshire pudding with chocolate. Quite nice. Ice cream. Ooh, it's just a pastry case, I guess. Kind of. Don't use don't use beef dripping or anything to make it. Morning pudding, midday pudding, and evening pudding. Yes, Pippin.
But what about second pudding?
Eat your lamb bread and shut up.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Right, after on French Meowth, Sock Cat, and Centiliters, what are we doing?
Meowth.
We're still just talking about differences between countries. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else you're gonna expect from this stream.
That's
That's
like,
yeah.
oh, little talkers, tell us more about the pud. Oh.
Tell us more about the pud.
Oh, pud.
Go on, tell us a bit more about the pud.
Lamb bread pudding.
pudding.
That sounds very filling.
I mean, bread pudding is a thing. I don't know if you'd want to
Yeah.
make lambdas, but actually most bread pudding I've seen doesn't have like bread in it. So I don't.
No, I've seen it with bread.
Originally made with bread.
I've seen it
Do
with
you
bread.
guys
Yeah.
make it with bread?
I've never had it, but I have seen it, and it has bread in it.
Huh.
What? Your bread pudding doesn't have bread in it?
Bread in it.
It's got bread in the name.
Oh, you bloody weirdo! What are you doing?
Again,
the embodiment of a language.
Well, there's French down there. Italian, I guess, is on the left. I've changed it. It's not wine anymore. It's olive oil.
English can just be a Frankenstein of like 6 different languages.
I just draw October. Yeah.
I'm just imagining like October with a heavy British accent, which is really funny.
Oh, I don't know what accent. I was about to say I don't know what accent October would have. I don't think it would be consistent with October. I feel like October's the way that October speaks is probably much like my handwriting. It changes day to day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine that.
I would love somebody
if
to.
This was ever made into a cartoon short, you would have a different voice actor for every
Yeah.
As it should.
We don't even need to really hire a different voice actor. It's just a different character's voice actor playing October.
Gets more confusing.
Who does October sound like today?
We'll end up with one of that Mark Hamill style situation where they're voicing every character.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's even better.
I mean, there are definitely characters out there where there's sort of a joke going on with their name or whatnot. I don't know if it ever made it across the pond to you guys, but here in the United States there was a TV show called That 70s Show, where there was a character in it who was a immigrant student at the high school.
Yeah,
and sort of the joke was no one called him by his actual name because nobody knew it. Because every time he would try and say, "Oh, my name is," he'd get interrupted by something, including in one scene where they're like, "Okay, well, yeah, like say your name," and it's in the schoolhouse, and he starts saying his name, and the bell rings, and he's just saying what seems to be this very, very long name, but the bell is ringing, so you can't hear what he's saying. But in the script, there was no name written there. That was literally the actor just saying the names of all of the other characters.
That's very good.
And it's like, okay, yeah, that's funny. that's very good.
Where's this pudding cup?
It's
wearing like
a little bit of pud.
I'm trying to draw a Yorkshire pudding. I don't really know.
Pudding urchin.
It's interesting, like the flat cap. I guess the flat cap means different things to different people. I look at a flat cap and I think Yorkshire. I guess other people think like Dickensian ruffian.
Yeah, to me that looks like sort of a old style New Yorker cabbie hat.
I mean, flat caps I either associate with the Irish in general, or just, Victorian urchins, street urchins.
I associate them with urchins.
Yeah, no.
You're either Irish or an urchin.
Yeah.
Or an Irish urchin if you're unlucky enough.
Listen, it's just what happened.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, to be fair, that is sort of the hat that they give to, like, poor street orphan who's, like,
Yeah.
selling newspapers for a nickel.
And this is coming from
Bless
somebody who
those
hasn't
poor
seen
street urchins.
somebody who hasn't seen Oliver.
Mm.
Didn't even know Oliver was the thing.
I mean, I didn't know Oliver was a thing.
You haven't heard Food Glorious Food though.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
I bet they mentioned pudding
I
in
knew
that.
it was a thing. I just never heard it.
I
Listen.
believe they do.
You guys grew up with Oliver. I grew up with Dutch street urchins.
That's fair.
Which is really
I
weird.
grew up with street urchins.
That's where Chibi learned their shin kicking abilities from. It's tough on the streets.
No, but there is like we do have like the like I've seen one musical of a like which is a Dutch musical of like a old Dutch story about a like orphan street urchin kind of deal whose family
Akira.
went to like or whose father went to America and tried to get rich there. And the story kind of revolves around them. And I know there's another one that's kind of like that, but I've never seen that one, even though it's like one of the most famous like musicals out there in Netherlands. But yeah, I know those two. They're kind of the same thing.
I literally watched a thing today. Somebody who was doing sort of like folklore about Britain and things like that, and they talked about Dick Whittington. And the origin of Dick Whittington, this character who's sort of appears in like pantomimes and sort of British folklore and things like that. And I confess, literally never heard of it until today.
I have heard of it, but never seen Dick Whittington.
I didn't know anything about
the many plays that could have been seen, but we never did, thankfully.
I just like how they were talking about the popularity of Dick Whittington and how it's a pantomime and things like that, and they showed a poster for a pantomime in London where Dick Whittington was played by Shane Ritchie, was it? And I was like, oh, he used to be on TV. Pantomimes are a thing in Britain, and they are exclusively staffed by out-of-work actors.
This is true.
And people in drag.
Also true.
Oh, there's Oliver. Yep, they're basically the same. Oh, your one's got a dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Oliver would love a dog.
He does have a dog.
Actually, I think there is a dog in the play, and
Oliver loves dogs.
I think the villain has a dog in it, or one of the villains. Is that right? All I remember about Oliver is that we did it at primary school in the school play, and I really wanted to play Fagin, the sort of. How would you describe Fagin?
Describe Fagin, fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he's weird, but he's the sort of like lovable villain in a sense, but weird.
I mean,
he's not the evil one. You know what I mean? He's not good.
Regularly threaten him with violence.
Yeah, but the other guy actually does violence. So it's the difference. Street urchin equals flat cap.
Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah. Anyway, I applied. I wanted to do that, and I was really happy with my audition. And then I turned out to be Mr. Bumble.
Yes.
And they cut the song. They cut the song Oliver, which is the only good song, and I had to do Boy for Sale, which is just dirge. Anyway,
I had to be Boy for Sale.
Thank you, Christy. It is the same person. We're all the same. All the same boy.
Also, hi, Kira. Hello. Is that a cat bread in a cat box? In a bread box?
Yes.
Yay.
Words, out of
Is
words.
the cat alive or dead in the box? No one knows.
Schrodinger's bread.
Schrodinger's bread.
Schrodinger's bread cat.
Schrodinger's bread box. Is the bread gone moldy or not? Who knows?
If you open it up, you might release the mold onto everything else.
They cut the song Oliver in Oliver. I know, right?
What?
What do you mean?
I mean, I can definitely understand cutting some songs from a musical production, especially if you're dealing with like mostly school children and it's a song that's particularly tricky. But I feel like the title song with the name of the character in it is maybe not the one.
Oh, you don't need that.
Oliver. Never before has a boy wanted more. It's good. And I had to sing Bloody Boy for Sale, which is literally a dirge. Well, it's not literally a dirge, but it's slow, and it was too low for me as a kid, so they had to put it up on the piano.
And he held a grudge against pianos ever since.
I exclusively play too low on a piano just out of spite.
This sounds like the beginning of the new Saw trap. Your entire life is full of pianos. The key to this trap is found in the highest piano in the country. Good luck. And of course, there's a shotgun somewhere because it's Saw, so there's always a shotgun somewhere.
Are they still
What
going?
way you'd expect it?
Those films still going? I don't know if those films are still going.
There was one with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, but I don't know.
Probably.
I can't remember what
It's
the
kind of
looks
like it's technically going, but oh boy.
It's technically going. That's the best thing somebody can say about your your line of films. Hey, you know your career, it's still technically going, right?
Well, and I mean, just the fact that Samuel L. Jackson in it. I don't know if he's still doing it, but at one point in time, he had been on record saying in an interview that he just sort of accepts whatever. Like, if the people producing the show or movie go to him and ask for him, he says yes, because basically he figures that it's like, okay, if they're looking specifically for him, he might as well. So basically all that tells me is that someone went out and decided, hey, I want to make a dumb movie. Hey, Samuel L. Jackson, do you want to be in a movie? And he said sure, because that's just what he does.
I mean, it's not.
He's like, why not?
He's done well out of it.
And what was
Oh
it?
yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea to have, especially if it's if they came to me, sure.
What is it? He would only be in Snakes on a Plane if they kept the name Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah. You're not allowed to change the name.
They were like, we want a less silly name. Who's like, if you touch that, I will quit.
Seems fair.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the name is the reason why people still remember Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, that's how it got made, wasn't it? It was literally a bet between some screenwriters. What's the most ridiculous premise for a film you could possibly come up with? And they're like, that's so stupid.
I mean, there are some good things out there that just still have ridiculous names on them. Like Untitled Goose Game. That game has that title because they couldn't think of a better title by the time they got to the market part of it. That the Untitled Goose Game was literally a placeholder, because that's what happens sometimes. You have a placeholder name while you're working on things until you figure out something better, especially if you're not quite sure what the game's going to be. And they just couldn't come up with anything, so they just kind of went, screw it, it's an Untitled Goose Game.
Was it? Oh, there was one I saw on Tumblr the other day. Was it Dragon Age? Yeah, let's have a look. Oh yeah, Thetis, I think, is the world in Dragon Age. And Thetis stands for the Dragon Age setting.
Okay, that's good.
And we're like, this is a lesson to authors. Do not leave placeholder names in place for too long.
So I just looked down and saw the fucking Jigsaw puppet on a piano.
He's playing piano.
Like he played in the major key. Now you must play the YMCA in the minor key.
Oh, have you heard the going? We were talking about Nilsa Sariga the other week, weren't we? Listen to TIME, which is
Timmy.
the vocals of YMCA to the on top of the music of I can't remember what film is it. Is it Interstellar?
The space one with Matthew McConaughey.
Think so. It's this sort of like big, sort of grand orchestral swelling thing, and it fits so well, and it makes the lyrics to the YMCA sound so important. I recommend. It's very good. I recommend all of the Nilsa Sariga mashup things because it's just nonsense.
Yeah. Please link all ridiculous videos in the chat so that they may be shared.
I'll click on this and then very quickly press pause. There we go. It's on stream. I'll put it in music. Best music. But yeah, it just makes it sound so powerful. And it also gets you to listen to just how strong they're singing in that song. There's a lot of passion behind those words.
Hey, when a man steps into a music video dressed as a cowboy, you know he's gonna.
You've got to be confident at that point, haven't you?
If there's anything the village people weren't lacking,
I do like the idea of like somebody having an extremely ostentatious outfit as a musician and then just being really shy. You just step on stage with this sort of elaborate costume and then just like, hi.
Yeah, I mean, if you're as far as stage performance is concerned, usually it'd be matching. I mean, it's one thing if they're quiet in their personal lives, but
yeah.
they're gonna be wearing
if anything,
flashy costume on stage.
Yeah. If anything, that's more likely. It's like you would have a flashy costume and then in your personal life be, actually, I'm quite shy, but I like expressing myself on stage. But I just like the idea of that also carrying on stage.
I'm going to preemptively apologize if I yell out "fuck" at any point when I'm playing another game.
That's fair.
I realize in the past I've just randomly yelled "fuck" into the chat. So I'm warning this time. This is rated as a mature stream,
yeah. Well, we've already talked about Saw, so
make a good point.
And the French. Oh yeah, they have those kinds of injuries. I'm not good with like realistic gore in films. Not my.
On the one hand, gross. On the other hand, well done to the makeup artists.
Oh yeah, like incredible achievement. There are a lot of things I can respect and hate, and that's one of them. But yeah, so like the spaghetti guts in Shaun of the Dead. That's I can deal with that. That's not the end of the world.
Right. Shaun of the Dead.
You see Dr. Wily when you look at this. Was Jigsaw based on Dr. Wily? There's a question.
I mean, I'm looking at, and maybe it's just because he's tiny and he's got a very large nose, but I just look at that and it's like, oh, Igor. Which is, those of you who have not played the Personas, Igor is a NPC. Oops, I just zoomed in very far. Igor is an NPC that basically helps you build up your RPG skill stuff.
Yeah, he's got a look about him, isn't he? Look at his eyebrows.
Interesting. Look at that nose.
Yeah.
He has very much got a nose.
That's a nose that could be used as a display case for glasses.
Of course, naturally, I just found a picture of him just with his nose erased, which is just really funny.
Oh, yeah. There's one with him with a short nose, which is interesting. It's a different character when you do that, really, isn't it?
Just looks like a Pokemon all of a sudden.
Oh, and yeah, we've got ones
Yeah.
of like other characters with the same face superimposed on it. That's it'd be a different game, wouldn't it?
See. Yep. Yeah, he's in. I don't know if he's in the first one because I haven't played it myself, but I do know he's in Personas 2 through 5 as sort of as one of the NPCs that helps you build your character and do your RPG type stuff with your personas and whatnot. He's got a couple of assistants that work with him in there as well, and those change between game to game. But he's in there. Hilariously, though, they changed his voice actor into the 5th game, and I don't remember why, but they somehow managed to get that. They managed to sort of incorporate that into the story. No spoilers with that, because it's sort of a fun twist.
Sorry, I'm just looking at
Oh.
pictures. Just finding the stupidest pictures.
See, I was gonna try and do like draw an eagle face superimposed on a ridiculous character, but I think the internet's just gotten their way before me.
What do you mean? They take this matter seriously, Chris.
Yeah, very seriously, definitely.
Very seriously.
I mean, obviously he's a serious character. Why else would he have such a long nose?
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've learned from the Muppets, it's that the characters with long noses are the most serious.
Uh-huh.
You heard it here, folks. Persona has definitely taken their design choices from the Muppets. Actually, are there any demons in Persona based off of? It would surprise me if there was. There's characters based off of just about everything.
Give me the gold, give me the gold.
What else is there to draw?
There's always butts to draw.
I mean, yeah, you could draw butts.
You can always draw butts, why not?
Always.
Yeah, Kiro's right. There is a demon in Persona who is Alice, as in Alice in Wonderland. And as far as I can tell, she hits like a truck.
Ow.
She is so in Persona. You've got different clans of demons that sort of tell you a bit about what sort of things they specialize in. Alice is a fiend, which means she specializes in a lot of dark skills, and she is very strong and very creepy.
That's look at that butt.
That's a good butt.
It's a very big butt.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
This is what the stream has
It's
turned
not
into.
the worst thing that has been drawn of Igor.
Everybody here decided to look at this rather than AGDQ, and for that, I thank and apologize. And pity.
I mean, we've got an entire week of AGDQ to go. So, you know.
A gosh dang queek.
Queek. Queek.
Queek. Sounds vaguely disgusting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Queaking is what Igor's doing here.
Oh. You just
dear.
made it worse.
Give him a little boot.
It's just a squeaky door. Don't worry about it.
Very queaky. Ooh.
Shut up.
You started it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Chris still has the uwu command.
It's in there.
Bah.
Yeah.
Stop that command. Get it out of here.
Oh, hang on, there's one more thing I have to do. Compulsory.
Is white bread with Nutella and banana pudding.
The
What?
pud. Oh.
I mean, it sounds good.
I mean,
It is.
I've done that with like toast. Well, and also I guess I've technically just done that with like a sandwich. So
Yeah. I don't know what
But-
you're asking exactly. Is white bread with Nutella and banana pudding?
No, is white bread with Nutella and banana pudding.
Oh, like
Um,
that. Yeah.
Which, I mean, it could be.
Do you want it to be?
Yeah, if you had it after dinner, and it's sweet, sure, go with it.
I mean, it's Nutella. That's kind of sweet.
It's not a pudding, but it's pudding. It's dessert.
I mean,
yeah,
unless
exactly.
you put banana pudding on it, in which case now you have.
Then now you have a pudding.
I mean, in my opinion, it isn't pudding, but you know,
Pudding.
Christy, I think that was on me. Everyone else seemed to understand the question.
No, it took me a while to. Well, when I say it took me a while to understand what was going on, my brain automatically went, "How can I read this sentence in a different way?" Because that's how I make jokes. And it turns out I read it the right way. Yeah.
But yeah, for me it isn't pudding, but you know,
I need to draw something else. So
it
this
is
isn't on screen.
dessert.
It is
Yeah.
delicious. I've done that before. Put either banana or peanut butter, and then have banana slices on it. Sorry, Nutella or peanut butter, and then have that banana slice.
I've never had banana
never
bread. I'd need to have banana bread. Sorry.
Banana bread is a very good use for bananas that aren't bad, but are definitely not firm enough to hold in your hand anymore.
Yeah. So this is the thing.
Be real firm. Oh.
Don't do that with your bananas,
Okay.
please.
And we can't do the Owo voice.
Oh.
In my defense, I don't do that as often to people who
But yeah, the problem with me is that I only start liking bananas around the point that most people start throwing them out. So
Yeah, I guess that could be a problem.
like I remember somebody
If you like the really mushy.
described on I can't remember what it was now.
Oh.
Someone described something as like a banana with brown spots. Like it's could have been good, but it's too late now. And I'm like, that's when they start getting good. What are you talking about?
I
What do you
mean, the banana is going to develop brown spots regardless. It's when you've got brown patches that the part underneath it starts to get mushy.
Yeah,
And it's hard to hold.
I just feel like there's a I don't know. I don't like the taste of it when it's sort of fresh, as it were. It gets sort of sweeter over time, and there's a weird sort of tang that goes away. But that's probably what people.
Tang is a drink.
The tango.
It's,
there a-
it's because it's rotting, Chris. It's literally breaking down.
I know, and it's great.
I
Look.
love
I mean, you get a similar thing
There's
because
people
okay,
like alcohol.
So most unless you are getting the fruit directly from the growers, it is very rare that fruit is picked when it is ripe. It's usually picked before it's ripe, and then it goes through a process where it's sort of equivalent to ripening, but not quite the same. Where essentially you've got that starting of the rotting process, it's starting to soften and break down. And then eventually, once it gets to the store shelves, it's now in a state where humans can actually eat and digest it.
No.
So that's why fruit that has been ripened that you got from the supermarket tastes different from ripe fruit that someone just picked off of their tree.
Chris, why is this banana so buff?
It's firm.
Excuse me?
Why is this banana so buff? It's not a hard question, Lewis.
Look away to shank one angel and suddenly...
As you do.
Yeah.
As one
Being
does on a
really
Sunday evening.
It's either that or think about my upcoming exam, and that's scary.
No, only angel shanking.
Many angel shankings.
It still gets me that you're taking exams before classes have even really started.
I think I've had that before. You get like, you do all the learning and the revision in one term, and then you get like the holiday to digest it, and then when you come back, you do the exam.
So my classes start on like the 25th.
Nice. But you just have an exam before that.
Yeah, this is accepted as like exam time.
Buffnana.
Yes, a buff nana.
Buffnana. It's B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-S.
It's Buffnanas.
Did anyone else have bananas in pajamas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I
It
have
was-
never watched it, but I know it exists in Dutch.
That's
Yeah, it existed here, but I also never watched it, usually because it was on early in the morning and I didn't want to be awake to watch bananas in pajamas.
I know it exists because for a while, when my brother hadn't moved out yet, he used to sing the theme song, even though he has also never watched it.
Bananas in pajamas. They're walking
That's
down the
just
stairs.
something he does, so I didn't question it.
You have them in your room. Ooh. B1 lost their pajama top there. Oh no. We're only 1.5 bananas in pajamas. How about banana splits? That's going back a bit further. I'm old.
No, you just don't watch any media that started after the 70s.
Hey, let's not call Chris out like that.
Actually, banana splits, they
All the time.
They were recently I'm certainly not going to say rebooted. But they were recently reused in a horror film.
Banana splits?
The banana splits, yeah.
I need to know like what this is because
They're just sort of like people in costumes, and they did it was I think 60s, 70s. And it was just a show, and
my
they
point
had
still stands.
the variety thing. They had cartoons. Anyway, basically, somebody wanted to make or a studio wanted to make a Five Nights at Freddy's film, but they didn't get the rights to Five Nights at Freddy's. So they're like, well, what else can we use? And they decided to resurrect banana splits for that.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
So apparently they're animatronics now, but whatever.
Sure.
Whatever works.
They're just doing their thing.
But no, I have never seen that in my life.
Ah, that's fair enough. I'm trying to remember the theme song to that as well.
So I'm gonna say it's probably British.
And then there was
Might be.
There was that horror film with Nick Cage where it was all the animatronics.
Yeah, that was that. There were quite a few of those films came out.
It's almost like they're a brilliant idea.
Yeah, something's Funhouse. What was that? Can't remember. It's Nicolas Cage. He needs money. He'll do anything. What else is there to draw? We've talked about bananas. What other fruits do you remember from your childhood?
What?
It's an important question.
What other fruit?
Yes.
I mean, I mostly ate a lot of bananas, apples, oranges, and grapes.
Apples?
Strawberries if they were in season.
I remember the first time I saw a lychee. They're weird.
I like the taste of strawberries, but the texture is wrong.
That's fair.
But I have that with a lot of foods.
Now I'm thinking of an episode of Red Dwarf. No.
Classic.
Draw Nicolas Cage in the weirdest movie. I mean, that's Bloodborne, right? We've been over this.
I mean, that's like his weirdest film is Mandy.
Mandy?
It's like another horror film, but there are many drug trips and weirdness.
Oh, good.
I'm trying very hard to remember what shows I used to watch as a kid, and like absolutely nothing comes to mind. I mean, nothing other than like musicals.
Oh no, Chibi sustained entirely on musicals.
But I used to watch them so much that my family still quotes them back to me.
So I've got an activity I have my students do in my general ed math class, the math for people who are not going to be continuing on and doing more math stuff, where is anyone here familiar with the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I
So
thought it was like
6 Degrees of
5.
Kevin Bacon.
You know somebody
is
who
an
knows
actor
it.
Who was very prolific. And basically, the game is to take a random actor or actress and try to connect them back to Kevin Bacon through CoStar. So I have an activity that's a variant of that game where they're connecting just random actors to each other instead of Kevin Bacon. And in making that, I have looked up a lot of movies that various actors have been in. Did you know that Nicolas Cage used to be a teen heart?
Vaguely. I don't know in what context.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah,
so
I don't
fine.
remember the name of the movie, but I do remember seeing it and going, "That's weird." He was in a teen heartthrobby movie where he played sort of like the bad boy love interest, and I remember finding it very strange when I came across it when I was looking up connections between actors and whatnot, because he had the same face. Like, he looks the same, and it's just kind of like, okay, this is weird. This is just really weird. But sure, I guess. This might as well happen. Also, Robert Downey Jr. was in a lot of comedies.
Yeah, one of them is Due Date. It's awful with Zach Galifianakis. I watched that.
Today I learned I don't know how to draw Nicolas Cage.
I mean, he's also got sort of a generic male protagonist face, so just draw Jack and you should be fine. Just Jack, but a little longer.
Jack, but longer. Okay.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. Here's a question: has Nicolas
Then
Cage
you
ever
can get
appeared in a
into
film?
hats.
How many degrees of separation are there between Nicolas Cage and David Lynch? Because I think the combination of those two would be
I can
quite
tell
something.
you that on average it will be around 3.
Nice.
That's the average number of connections you need to
That is-
connect any 2 actors who starred in a Hollywood movie.
That is such a mathematician answer. What is this number? It's average 3. or it exists. I love it.
There is actually a website called the Oracle of Bacon that will go through the IMDb movie database, I think also Wikipedia, and basically you can give it any 2 actors and it will find the shortest link possible between them. Turns out there's usually more than one possible shortest link.
There's the mathematical equivalent, the Erdős number, which is, there was a mathematician called Erdős, and he basically went around collaborating with as many people as he could, because he just liked lots of different things in math. And thus there is a thing called an Erdős number, which is how many degrees of separation are there. How many people have you published work with away from Erdős, essentially? So if you publish with Erdős, your number's 1. If you publish with somebody who published with Erdős, that's 2, so on and so forth. I think mine is 5.
Nice.
But what's interesting is that Erdős published with some people on like a big group project, but it was just like a kind of, it wasn't a serious thing. Like, it was maths, but no one was really like, it was just an interesting little throwaway thing. So they decided to publish under a pseudonym, whereas like a collective name for all of them. And that pseudonym has gone on to publish with other people, and so people now have imaginary Erdős numbers and complex Erdős numbers, depending on whether they've published with somebody who doesn't exist who has published with Erdős. Which is, the world of maths is weird. So you could have a, if you have.
Is that better or worse? But is that better or worse than the physicist who wrote all of his stuff in the paper plural when he was writing it just as himself, and decided that instead of trying to change the tenses throughout all of his paper, just listed his cat as a co-author?
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, that's standard mathematical practice is we do this and we do that, rather than I do this and I do that. Just to, I was always taught, because it's like, you're getting the audience like involved. You know, this they are part of this process. So I don't know. It's weird to see a mathematical paper that doesn't pluralize everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, to me, it always just sort of felt like we were just kind of like, oh, especially if it's something where there's like an experiment that was done and results that are being reported. It always just sort of felt like, we've just observed this. We didn't do anything. We've just collected the data from a bunch of science gremlins who live in the lab. And it's just kind of like, well, I mean, the science gremlins who live in the lab is sort of a funny way of referring to your teachers' assistants, but okay.
I wanted to write a comic about the science gremlins. I would love to know more about their escapades. I have now drawn a rough approximation of Nicolas Cage not understanding how beekeeping equipment works.
I like his idea of a beekeeper's hat. He's like, well, it's a hat with bees, you know?
You ever seen 1984? It's like that, but with bees.
Bees! Oh, whoops, I need to go eat. I haven't eaten yet.
Have food.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Sorry, I completely forgot.
Go mount.
Catch you later.
Well, I think this has been... Ah, look, Crobat. How's your new playthrough going? It's dark type now, isn't it?
Yep. It's going. I beat the first gym pretty easily because apparently I have the version that has, I'm playing the version that has no sleeve. Like that line, no sleeve.
Are you playing a
something
Nuzlocke?
else.
Got it.
No.
Oh, that's good, because I was about to say, Dark is one of those types where it's hard to find them, especially early on.
I'm not
I'm,
playing a
I'm,
Nuzlocke.
I'm doing a ghost type run. I've got 3 badges to do before I can get one of those.
Yeah, and that's the other one where it's just kind of like that's hard to get a hold of. Steel, I think, would be the only Okay, so I guess there's Puchiena, which after Gen 3 you can sometimes find early on, but yeah, Ghost and Steel and Dark are ones where it's like there aren't a lot of these access early on. Oh, and Dragon.
Oh yeah, I forget Dragon's a type.
Yeah, I have a Puchiena and a Nuzleaf because I could catch a Seedot early on, and then it evolved, so I learned Leaf Storm, I think. So could pretty easily like beat the first gym. But now there's a new problem. The second gym is fighting type.
Yep.
And yeah, that's a difficult one to deal with.
Is fighting good against Dark, is it?
Yep.
Wonderful.
It sure is. I attempted one of the
don't
trainers and I got completely wrecked even though I was like 4 levels above her. So
Grind time.
I don't have a plan for this.
Well, your original plan was to do a poison type run, so
Yeah. True. I mean, then I probably also wouldn't have had like many Pokemon because I haven't really seen any
I was going to trade you a
poison types
fungus
yet.
and an Among Us.
Yeah. That's true.
God, and if you're playing Hoenn as well, that's because I know that's one of the problems that Dark and Fire types are sort of on the rare side in that gen.
Yeah.
Which is why it's sort of funny if you look at the Elite Four member that's associated with that type, and they've got like some Pokemon that are doubled, and it's like, yes.
They just like that Pokemon. It's fine.
I mean, the Pokemon like my brain immediately went to like Flint and like Diamond and Pearl, who has like 5 Pokemon and like 2 are actually fire Pokemon. And the other ones aren't.
Is that Chaos Clown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Chaos Clown had like mostly non-fire Pokemon because like
Of course he did.
in the original Diamond and Pearl you couldn't like you had like access to 2 fire type lines like during the course of the game until like after you finished like everything. And that's the fire starter and like the Ponyta line.
The Twisted Fire Starter.
And the fire starter is like Chimchar.
Chimchar is the Twisted Fire Starter.
Yeah. And you know.
Well, and then you've also got Lance and Agatha over in Hoenn, where it's like, it's the dragon user and the ghost user, where half of their Pokemon are not their elements.
There is only one line of Pokemon for each of those in that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, like, in Johto, you have Morty, who is the, like, ghost gym leader. And they added a new ghost line in Johto, which is, like, Miss Grievous, which didn't have an evolution yet, but, you know, it's a new ghost. There. And they didn't give one to Morty.
Oh, poor Morty.
Yeah, he's mostly got just, like, Haunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Lance had a Dragonite, 2 Dragonair, and then the other 3 are not dragons.
Gyarados, probably?
Like, I think one of them might have been an Onyx.
No, like, Lance doesn't have Onyx, is he?
Oh, yeah, right. It's the fighting guy who has Onyx. Because there also aren't a lot of fighting types either.
I think there's a Gyarados in there somewhere.
Bruno, I believe is his name.
Yeah, he's got a Gyarados, which by all rights should be a dragon type.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it the only dragon move in the game is Dragon Rage, which does a fixed amount of damage, so it's kind of useless
Yeah.
as an
In
offensive
the
type.
like first games, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the original one.
Yeah.
The only thing dragon types are useful for is essentially tanking things in the original Gen 1 games.
Yeah. I mean, in the original Gen 1 games, you just want all psychic types, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those were completely busted.
Alakazam, the best.
You just
Chris,
want to
why have you
become
censored it by
Sabrina
that?
2.0 and then you're fine.
This is my starter Pokemon from my Ghost playthrough. This is temporary. I've named all of the Pokemon that I have to get rid of when I get a Ghost. The temporary, passing, brief.
Do you have an Inkeda yet?
No.
Oh,
I
you
will
don't?
eventually. No, it's quite late, I think.
Oh, I
think it's the same place.
came across one on an earlier route, so I thought you would have access to one already.
Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, because Ninkada,
Well, I
think...
guess it depends on what game he's playing. I know they're available pretty early with the Hoenns, but I don't...
but he's playing Y.
And play Pokemon Y, because that's the one that's got the most ghosts in it.
Yeah.
So give me all the ghosts. I just have so few options in every other game.
We can figure out the trading, and I can send you an Inkeda over.
No, I can get an Inkeda. Yeah, if you want any dark Pokemon that I can get, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, you're gonna get some like things of like, I want a dark type, please hit me up.
I can do that.
I don't have access to that many. I don't even have access to Houndoom, which I really want.
You know what's really annoying? It's very difficult to search on a page for Pokemon Y, because if you search Y, you're going to get a lot of results.
Well, if you're on Bulbapedia, there should be a section where it says where stuff is located.
Route 6.
Where that Pokemon is located.
Okay, I'll be able to get one soon. Route 6. That'll probably be the first one I get, although I might be able to get a Ghastly before. You can trade, yeah! Should be able to.
I'm playing Pokemon Omega Ruby on my 2DS, so I should be able to.
For God's sake, it's another one of those bloody things. I can't catch a Ghastly. I have to catch a Haunter and then breed it.
What?
Yeah. You can't. There are no wild Ghastlies, but you can get a wild Haunter, which means that you can then breed it to get a Ghastly.
Yeah, the same thing is true for like Ariados.
Yes, yeah,
Spinarak Ariados. You have to get an Ariados to get Spinarak in like any game other than like Johto, I think.
Oh, no, God.
I have caught one in Sun and Moon, I believe so.
Oh no, this is going to be awful, isn't it?
But like in any other game, you have to catch an Ariados at like level 50 after you beaten the league, and then get it.
I mean, that makes sense.
Then you have an Ariados.
Baby Pokemon, but even some of the baby Pokemon you can just find in the wild as well. I remember I was playing one game and there's just kind of like a bunch of Pichu running around on the first.
Yeah. Yeah, you have like baby Pokemon that are running around in the wild. Or they are given to you. But like Spinarak is in like a lot of games is just like no. I mean there are worse instances because I believe like there is what is it? It's like one of the mythicals, like Manaphy or something, that has a baby variant, but you can only get the baby variant through breeding, and then you have a baby version of a mythical that can't really do anything and is already very weak.
That one's a really weird situation because it's not like they evolve into me.
No,
that's a separate Pokemon
yeah, right. That was it. You have like a baby version that isn't like actually a baby version. Because it can't evolve into it, and it's awful. So I don't know why you want it.
Yeah, and and that's a mythic Pokemon anyway. I wouldn't even consider that like that is less an exception and more a it makes its own rule type situation.
Yeah.
Like that can be ignored. That can be safely ignored.
But yeah, in like any other game than Johto, like any of the Johto games or like the Sun. I'm not even sure about Ultra Sun and Moon, but at least in Sun and Moon I could catch a Spinarak. But like in any other game, no. Because people hate Spinarak.
Spinarak's cute.
Like Spinarak.
I remember liking Spinarak when I was younger, and then it turned out that it wasn't very good, so I didn't use it.
And no, it's not great.
Well, I mean
it's
that was
actually
true for
pretty
bug types
terrible.
in general. That was true for bug types in general up until Gen 4-ish. Like bug types in general just sort of
it's definitely like it's one of the types that has like the most evolution throughout the years because it just started out terrible. Absolutely terrible with like I believe it was like the case that originally the bug type had like one actual attacking move. Which
Yeah.
only Beedrill could learn.
What was it?
And now you have a fucking Beedrill.
It wasn't even all that good. The first bug move
No.
that dealt significant damage was like Silverwind in Gen 3. And even then that was like the only one.
Yeah. But I mean it's also just generally because most bug types are like the early game 3-stage like evolutions that
Yeah.
like they evolve very early, so generally they aren't like supposed to be strong or they aren't made to be very strong because they evolve so early. So
Hey, look, Butterfree gets confusion.
the-
That's real good.
that was the problem with buttons. Like he's a fully evolved Pokemon. He's also pretty bad.
How dare you?
He's great. He's just not a good battler.
Well, I mean, that's
do
not even the
combat.
only one, because in Gen 1, you also had later on, you had the Venom and Venomoth line. And as far as bug moves are concerned, they suck. You're better off focusing on the poison stuff there.
Mhm.
And then you also had Scyther and Pinsir, who not only were they hard to get, because it was just in the Safari Zone, their best attacks were mostly fighting moves.
Yeah.
And Paris. Don't forget Paris.
Yeah, yes.
Forget about
Paris, who has a, what is it, ×4 weakness fire.
I had a Paris on a Nuzlocke and I got very attached. It didn't last long.
But
Gee, I wonder why.
I think like it only got like good moves like in Gen 4, I think, and then like it really started up like getting good bug types in like Gen 5-ish, I think, along those lines. Like
I still think Valence should be part bug. It looks like it should be. I don't know why it isn't.
sorry, which one?
Phalanx.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
then.
I think Phalanx should be part
Yeah,
bug
they're
as
kind of
well.
buggy. Is it a they, or are they a single Pokemon?
It's one Phalanx.
Right, okay. Yeah, but like that's one crowd.
I figure
Like,
it's a Doug Trio. I
Yeah.
figure it's a Doug Trio situation.
we had this conversation the other day and it didn't end well. You get your
Yeah,
last booster
no.
tomorrow. Wonderful.
Ooh, nice. But yeah, I mean there are some like decent bug type, but also like there are some bug types that what is it? It's in I think it's in Gen 5. They had like a reasonably good bug type line, but then like for like evolution you had to like trade those specific like bug lines with each other, and only then
Oh,
could
right.
you
Those were
evolve
dumb.
them. Which is like I don't like trait evolutions
Yeah.
because I think like unless you can like I don't know. They're generally pretty stupid. I don't like trait evolutions, but like the trait evolutions with like specific things attached to it is just why?
Yeah, so I don't mind like various ways of Pokemon evolving,
Oh
but
no,
my
that's
thing
fine.
is that there should be something in the game, an NPC somewhere, or a book somewhere, or something that either explicitly says or gives you a pretty dang good clue on how it evolves. And also, it shouldn't be really, really, really esoteric. Like I want to say it's Yonmask. Yonmask in the newer games has a special evolution for in that region,
Ooh.
and the way to do it is exceedingly esoteric. You have to have like there's one of its stats that has to be within a certain range. It has to have, I think, one hit KO'd some things, a certain number of things, and you have to level it up in a very specific location that isn't even like very clearly marked.
Yeah,
And
like
it's like, all right, if you had one of those, maybe it would be okay. So, like the far-fetched evolution, its new thing also has a bit of an esoteric thing, but it's only one esoteric thing. It needs to have hit a certain number of critical hits before it will evolve. The fact that Yonmask has like 3 of them all stacked together makes me mad. Like, don't do that. This is a game for kids.
Also,
I
it's
mean, I'm fine with adults having fun with it. I'm an adult who finds Pokemon fun, but this is a game marketed for kids, and you should not have such esoteric things for getting your Pokemon to evolve, especially when there's no clear marker in the game.
yeah, but it's also I like the fact that
It's just
it's Yanmask. It's like it's not even a Pokemon anyone really cares about. Like I like Yanmask, don't get me wrong, but who else does?
oh yeah, like Yunmask is pretty neat, and its evolution, its new evolution, actually looks pretty cool.
I don't think I've seen
I
it.
hate how it evolves though. It's
Yeah,
dumb.
it's just weird that they went with that Pokemon to do it. You know, it's like if it was like secret evolution of Bulbasaur or something, then I can understand the effort put in, but Yanmask it just seems like a strange choice.
I mean, yeah, I get all the different like ways of evolving things. I just think that's a lot of them are very stupid. Like I get the using an item to evolve. I think those are pretty neat. Like you have to find a specific item or a stone or anything like that. Or location based evolutions, those are pretty neat. I don't like trade evolutions because it relies on you needing another person around,
Yeah,
um, or having a second device, which is stupid.
It relies on you
Um,
having someone who's willing to give the Pokemon back to you.
yeah, that too. Like you had like you can online trade in newer games, but like nobody's gonna give you back your Gengar. That's not gonna happen. But I think one of the stupider ones was I think it's for Inkay where you have
Oh
to
god,
turn
yes.
your DS
yeah,
upside down,
I love
which is
that.
just like, what do you mean? What?
Like when you look at the Pokemon, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then you think, why?
Mhm.
I like it. I just love the idea. Like it's evolving. Quick, turn it upside down. You just grab the Pokemon while it's evolving. Turn it upside down.
Yeah, it's just like why and also like how do you figure that out if you don't look it up? Because
Yeah,
I looked it up because I was just curious, like
Well,
when
and
does
see,
this thing evolve? And then I was like, what does that symbol mean?
yeah, and that's one
Oh,
of the things, and it's the only one that does it. Like
yeah.
like I said, I don't mind weird things. Like I said, if there's an NPC that hints at it, if there's something in the game that gives you a clue that it's like, oh, my Inkay was leveled up, and I turned it upside down when I hugged it, and then it evolved. Weird. If there was something like that, I would still find it odd, but it's like that's at least more okay. And again, it's only one weird thing that's happening, not like 3 things stacked together that are all individually a little odd, and now you're having to do all 3 of them. Like,
I have looked up Yamask's new evolution. Yeah, not a fan.
Speaking
I
of,
mainly think it's neat because I know what it's based off of. Like, the concept to me seems sort of neat, but yeah, you're right, Chris. I don't know why they put so much work into it, because it's too much work.
Where is it? Hang on. I won't spoil it.
speaking of stupid evolutions and lack thereof, but I I usually don't like trade with NPCs because usually I can get like the Pokemon I have. And I've never traded with this NPC, but I know she exists, and that makes me mad. Because there is an NPC in the Diamond Pearl Platinum games who trades you like a Haunter. So you can get like the cool like, yay, I can get a Gengar for the price of a Pokemon. That's fine. But the Haunter carries an Everstone.
You absolute.
So there is an NPC in the Diamond Pearl Platinum games who gives you a Haunter that can't evolve until you take the Everstone off it. And then you have already traded it.
That's mean.
Yeah.
That is very neat.
Like, I like again, I have never traded with this person. I don't trade with NPCs, but like imagine a kid like trading thinking I'm gonna get a Gengar and then just not.
Okay, so
They're,
Christy,
they're,
an Everstone is something that you give to a Pokemon that prevents them from evolving.
yeah.
It's mostly used with things that evolve by leveling up. You can prevent a Pokemon from leveling up, from evolving when they level up, usually by pressing like the B button. But if you don't want to mess with that, you can give it an Everstone and it will not evolve regardless of what you do. It has a couple of other uses when it comes to breeding mechanics. I think you can use Everstones to either guarantee or increase the chance that things like one of the parents' natures gets passed on to the child and stuff like that. But that's the main thing. That's the main thing its text says, flavor text says it's used for, is preventing things from evolving.
Yeah, so she gives you a Haunter with a stone that makes it unable to evolve by the trait you just did.
Yeah. Which is
just incredibly rude.
Also, to answer your earlier question, the reason these all have redacted eyes is because I am doing a playthrough of Pokemon Y where I'm only allowed to use Ghost Pokemon, but it takes me absolutely ages to get a Ghost Pokemon, so I need a team to get through like 3 gyms. And so these are all my Pokemon which are completely temporary, and thus I'm protecting their identities because I'm going to abandon them very soon.
Gonna send them to the farm.
I don't want to get attached, you know? So there's, I think, my starter's called Temporary, the Fletching's called Brief, there's the Butterfly, I can't remember what that species is called.
Vivian.
Yeah, that's, I think that's Passing. The Panpour is...
I love Passing.
Passing, yeah.
It hasn't passed yet. It's in the process of passing away.
Yeah. Or Fleeting, is the Panpour. and I've just got a Charmander called This Too.
This
Shall pass.
This too shall pass.
The problem is, I think, having just looked it up, I think the first ghost I can get is the... I get the word husk stuck in my head. It's not husk. What is it? Shedinja.
Evolution of Ninkata.
Yeah, which has 1 HP.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a while till I get another one. So, not sure how that's going to work.
I mean, it has a cool gimmick at least.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that you don't come across any other trainers that do super effective damage against it.
What are the
But,
gyms?
you know.
You have to watch out for fire types, you have to watch out for flying types, you have to watch out for dark types, you have to watch out for ghost types.
Okay, let's have a look and see what gyms are in between. That electric fairy. We might be good.
I mean, it also depends on like, what's the evil team? Team Flare?
Oh yeah. What are they? I can't remember.
What do they use? Don't they use like fire type? a lot?
Fashion.
I can't
You'd
remember.
think they'd use fire types, but mostly Team Flare is a bunch of rich idiots.
Yeah, fashion. They're flare. They're not fire flare. They're flare as in. Ooh.
Oh yeah, right.
Even though the leader does look like his head's on fire.
Yeah, I forgot all about Team Flare, to be honest.
It is flare ARE actually, isn't it? But they're all about fashion. So it's like they got good suits.
Yeah. Like I
Look at them suits.
read the monologue about making the world beautiful or whatever, and I was like, sure.
I mean, I know
good
the
luck,
leader has like a pride roar or something like that, so he at least has a fire type.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't remember for the minions.
No, the pyro. That's the lion, right? Because that isn't a fire type, I believe.
Is it not?
It is.
Is it?
Oh,
It's a normal fire.
Is the pre-evolution?
Oh, it's a normal fire.
Normal fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember if it's pre-evolution as a fire type yet, but I know it eventually adds a fire type.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's normal fire. I am missing. I remembered it being normal, and I didn't remember the fire part.
I'm being disappointed. It's not proper fire. Not good enough.
No, it was more that I remember, like, I remembered it being normal, and then I remembered it as this is a stupid thing where it should be fire, but it isn't, but it is.
Look, we need more normal Pokemon to bolster the numbers. There aren't enough normal Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That was my favorite thing, looking through the list of Pokemon in Pokemon Y and just searching for all of the names of all the types to see how many there were of each type. And you just typed in normal, and it's like all.
Yeah.
There are so many.
I mean,
even 20 ghosts. Great.
Even like with the one I'm playing right now, Mega Ruby, I'm just like, there are like, if I was like making a normal type, I would already have so many.
Well, there's the thing. Is it with that run? Maybe it's more sensible to say, well, okay, you're doing normal only, but it's normal only. You can't have normal something else. Just normal, only normal type attacks.
You would not be able to get much of anywhere quickly because you would not have anyone who could fly.
I mean, you can have an HM slave.
Yeah, you're allowed an HM slave. That's the we
you
had
can't
HM
just use it in battle. That's what I did with the HM. I needed something to get anywhere in Platinum.
Also, you got to hope there isn't a ghost gym.
Foresight.
Yeah, Foresight is a thing. Oh, there's Sleuth.
You two know approximately 700% more about Pokemon games than me. I stopped playing for like 10 years.
Or you could just say they can learn moves that aren't necessarily also normal types. Because there's a lot of normal Pokemon that learn moves that are of other types.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it more difficult.
Yeah, all normal run. Just
I'm-
all normal. Everything is normal.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to balance out the fact that there's, it's quite easy to do a normal only run if all you care about is whether the Pokemon has normal in its type. So I'm like, how can we make it more specific?
Mm. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, Hoenn would be a good region to do that in because it has like very a lot and also some pretty strong normal types. I mean, that's why there's a normal gym leader, and also to show off like, you know, abilities and such because you have the normal gym leader is Norman, which is stupid as name.
I
Uh,
mean, the thing you have to remember about Pokemon gym leader names is that they're all puns.
yeah,
Even in
but
the original
still,
Japanese, it's always puns.
still, like Norman is like on. It's like it's on like the same line as like the name for like every ice type gym leader, which is just Bryson or Candice or I don't know.
I don't know. We started off on the right foot with Brock. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
I like most like. I mean, I like most. I think Norman bothers me so because it's just Norman. Like Norman is just a regular name also. Like, most names are at least kind of weird. Like even like with all the ice names, it's weird. They spell
I
it weird.
mean, that game also has Roxanne. Roxanne is also just a name.
Yeah, but that one also bothers me kind of. I just want stupid names.
That's fair. The
I
name.
didn't come here for normal names, just like I didn't come here for a straight Elite Four.
Yeah, I was gonna say the names should be as ostentatious as the outfits.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that both Norman and Roxanne's outfit are fairly normal.
I was gonna say, like, if anyone's gonna have a normal name, it should be the normal type leader, right?
Yeah, but still. Still.
Because Roxanne is just wearing a fairly average school uniform. And Norman's, God, it
I
sort of
think,
looks like he's just wearing like a tracksuit.
yeah, I think I just don't like Norman.
That's absolutely fair. Like, no one's gonna hold that against you.
Which is like he is the dad of the protagonist in the Hoenn games, which is like which is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Because
want a wild ride, look at the Pokemon Special manga for Hoenn. Norman is crazy and also
what?
apparently crazy strong. There's one scene where he like rips a ladder off the side of a building or something, and it's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You've got to give him some sort of features.
No. You don't have to give Norman anything, in my opinion.
I mean, that's fair. This reminds me, I was going to do a boss brush for Pokemon, where I just try and draw all of the original 151 Pokemon from memory in one stream.
Oh, okay. I was like, boss brush for Pokemon. Oh, you're gonna like draw the like gym leaders?
Oh, I don't know what any of them look like. You see them very
That's
briefly.
fair.
Yeah, the gym leaders aren't important. It's the Pokemon that matter.
I mean, I can like probably know some of them. I remember some of them.
Lieutenant Surge, I guess. Well, obviously
Yeah.
Misty and Brock.
Yeah, Misty, Brock, Lieutenant Surge.
There's the Gross one. I can't remember her name. I want to say Elvira. I know
Erica?
that's wrong. Erica, yes, not Elvira.
Usually when you say the type, then I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, Psychic Samantha, something like that.
You have
Sabrina.
That's the one.
You have Koga.
Koga,
is
yep.
Poison, who moves on to be an Elite Four member in like the next one.
Is he Poison? I remember him having a Hypno. That's basically all I remember about him.
He is Poison. He has Poison. He has a Muck.
I mean, like I said, it's the same problem that Lance has.
Poison in the same way that Lance is Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of Poison Pokemon.
I mean, yeah.
Why have you got a Hypno?
Pokemon, and we already had the discussion that
I always have a Hypno.
I always got the impression that he was just the status effect gym. I was like, oh, here's confusion, here's sleep, here's poison, here's etc. etc. That just sort of made it more weird, and I didn't quite understand it as a kid.
He doesn't have a Hypno.
Does he not? Why did I think he had a Hypno?
No. He has.
I think one of his swim trainers might.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking?
Koga in Red and Blue has 2 Coughings, a Wheezing, and a Muck.
Oh, no wonder I don't remember
in
it.
Yellow, he has 3 Venonats and a Venomoth, which is... What?
That's a career change.
That's a decision.
What happened there, Koga? And then, as an Elite Four member in Gold, Silver, Crystal, he has Ariados, Venomoth, Fortress, Muck, and Crobat, and then probably...
Fortress is not a poison.
No! No!
It is
Bug Steel!
Yeah!
It's cool, though. I like Fortress.
It's never been a poison type. Like, nothing in its evolution line. It starts as a bug and it goes to Bug Steel.
Look, have you ever had a job and you're like, I want this to be a little different. I want to spice this up. You've pigeonholed yourself into some commitments and you're like, actually.
Listen, I'm not gonna hold that against Koga when there are far worse crimes out there in the Elite Four.
That was always the weirdest thing, is finding out that Koga came back, and I'm like, why? Why you?
I mean, Lask also came back. He's the champion in Johto.
Like, yeah, but that makes sense, right? There's some sort of element of significance. Koga was just sort of there.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've looked at Flint's team in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. It's a Rapidash, which is fine.
Yeah.
Then you have a Steelix, a Drifblim, and a Lopunny.
Drifblim is
and then also Infernape, which is this like evolved version of the starter of that region. Which is just That's this team.
So basically, he's not just a clown; he's the entire circus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, he's not. He's not the entire circus. That implies consistency. He's half the circus, a quarter of an accounting team, and a quarter of a hiking group.
Yeah, and then in like Platinum, he has all fire types. He has Houndoom, Flareon, Rapidash, Infernape, and Magmortar.
Yeah, where's the fun in that? Doggo says it's bedtime. Have a good bedtime and good luck with the booster. I need to have my booster, actually. I need to book that.
I think honestly, that's just like, I don't know if it's for all the ones in like Sinnoh that they just have garbage teams. I believe so because.
Sorry, despite the fact that basically we didn't have any like structure or anything for this stream, I'd still managed to not pay attention to chat at all, and I feel bad about that. Apparently, Kiro there's a bookcase being made next to Kiro, which is nice. Although I think you already mentioned that because of the whole room full of books scenario.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my temporary Pokemon team. Their identities have been hidden to protect the innocent. They're going to get released. It's fine. And then I'm just going to be left with Shedinja, and I'm going to cry.
Probably, yeah. I hope you can find a Pokemon soon after that, a ghost Pokemon.
Yeah. The thing is, I went with Y because like it has ghosts. It has a decent number of ghosts in it, and like compared to that, to like Pokemon White or whatever, it's like maybe how many ghosts are in there? Like 2 families, maybe. Let's just have a look.
I mean Pokemon White. Okay, yeah. Pokemon White 2 probably has more because it has.
Yeah, but I don't have that.
Both, but yeah.
Pokemon Black and White. Okay, it's got Yamask and Cofagrigus. Always good value. Frillish is a ghost.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ghost water.
Frillish and the evolved form that looks like the Pringles logo.
It does. Oh no, that's very silly. Obviously Litwick, naturally.
Yeah.
Golett and Golurk, completely forgot about them. But there's 4 families, and I think of those, Frillish is the only one I'm going to likely to get early. So it's like, I don't know. It's not implausible, but it's just a little restrictive. Whereas, you know, Pokemon Y, there's at least choice.
Yeah. But you do have to deal with the Shedinja.
Do have to deal with the Shedinja, apparently. That is a thing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works. Because the problem is, I can't remember exactly how. It's been a while since I've played. It's been a while since I've played Pokemon. But it's been a while since I played Pokemon Y, which actually I think was the last one I played. But there's like a hub city in the center, and it's got lots of spokes coming off it, and I don't know how much of that you can explore exactly. If there's just like a little patch of grass somewhere, you might be able to sneak in a Pokemon. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to go all the way around the world just to get a bloody Ghastly.
I mean, you're already going to have to do some breeding to get out of the way to get a Ghastly.
I'll probably be able to get a Honedge before then.
I don't know. Because I believe X and Y are pretty like linear.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem. I mean, a lot of Pokemon games are pretty linear, but like.
Where do you get Honedge? I can deal with a Honedge. Honedge is fine. I think I had one of those on my first playthrough. Because it's like, oh, it's a sword. It's kind of cool. Steel Ghost. You get, you know, best of both worlds in rare types. Where do you find it? I don't know. Do. That's my little I don't know song. Route 6. That's the same place you get in Gator. Okay,
Nice.
we can deal with this. We can manage.
Yeah, you can have an Honedge and a Shedinja.
It's
both of which
I
are
wonder
weak to
which one
fire.
you're gonna use more.
Look, don't worry about it. Well, I've never used a Shedinja, so this is getting me to try new things. Don't get me wrong. My main is Litwick because I love Litwick.
Yeah.
But
Gonna be your 8th Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh,
you posted that thing on Twitter of like, hey, name me Pokemon to draw, and by the time I got there, somebody had already suggested Litwick, so I didn't suggest anything.
Yeah. I was surprised to see someone suggest Litwick that wasn't you.
Yeah, there's 2 of us.
I saw like Litwick, and I was like, that's not Chris.
I have to
Well, I
contact
guess
that
I'm
person.
not gonna get a response from Chris then.
Litwick is pretty cute. So.
Litwick's great.
Yeah.
They're cute, they're creepy, as all ghost Pokemon are.
So now you're gonna get free fan art of Litwick.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't didn't know this was a commission situation, yeah. That would be great if you posted that.
Even more free, because you didn't have to do anything for it.
I like the idea of posting the meme image of like, 6 characters. It's like, hey everybody, name 6 characters for me to draw, and then like pricing underneath.
Yeah, I wouldn't get anything then.
$10 for bust, $15.
I haven't even gotten 6 responses anyway.
I thought you
Never
did.
mind if I start putting asking money for it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're still waiting for one, we can think of one now. What is the most
Yeah.
awkward Pokemon to draw?
Think think of a good Pokemon. Preferably not one of the more humanoid ones.
I can think of one. I can't remember his name though. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
Because I the first time I saw the design, I was like, this is stupid, and then I saw its animations, and I'm like, I love you. What's it called? Stonejourner.
Oh yay!
I love the way they run.
um,
I love the way they walk. They're just a big rocky friend.
Yeah, the Stonehenge one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, put it on the list.
Yeah, that's only if no one else comes along to. That's a backup.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I haven't gotten any responses since this.
Ragdoll, have you got any
so-
suggestions?
I mean,
the main one I was going to suggest, as far as designs where I just kind of like, this is so stupid, I love it, is a Durigen, which has already been suggested. It
Yes,
looks
I
like.
saw
Yeah.
that.
I love
Rodigan, yeah.
it because it looks like someone took someone's child's drawing of a dragon that they made with crayons and just turned it into a Pokemon.
Yeah, it does look like it has a very this is just your standard dragon vibe to it. Just it's so unapologetically just a dragon. It has spikes, it's a dragon, that's it. There's nothing going on other than that. Which is kind of fun. But yeah, I have Druddigon, I have what's the fucking name of that one? Toxel?
Dark Souls?
The little baby. It's a baby. It's a literal
It's the
purple
electric
baby.
poison Pokemon from the newest gen, whose name also escapes me, so don't worry about it.
Toxel Pokemon?
I'm not sure. It's a purple baby.
Toxel. Ah, Gremlin baby.
Yeah, gremlin baby.
That is just a baby, isn't it?
Toxel, Marshadow, and Galarian Moltres. And
Okay.
Liquid.
Which, hilariously,
Sorry.
Galarian Moltres, if I remember correctly, is...
Oop.
You cut out there,
Yeah.
Ragdoll.
Galarian Moltres is not a fire type.
Yay!
Yeah, no, it's a dark type.
I'm sure Flint's got it.
Because all the Galarian
Looks kind of
forms
cool.
are of the birth trio are different.
It's
You have
dark
Galarian
type.
Moltres, which is dark. You have Galarian Zapdos, which is fighting, and you have Galarian Articuno, which is a psychic type.
Why?
Mm, I don't know. I think it's a bit silly that they did that.
Like I kind of get the Moltres one because it's like fire and smoke. I can kind of get that, even though the design doesn't really follow that. Fighting Zapdos, Angry Chicken. I don't know.
It's an ostrich, basically.
Yeah.
It punches so fast, it hits things so
Ooh.
fast, it causes sparks.
Yeah, all of them do have references to the original types in their Pokédex.
I mean the Articuno one, it doesn't look like an Articuno. It looks like something from Sailor Moon or something. I don't know what's going on there, but
Yeah.
it's cool. I like the design.
I mean, yeah,
Don't know what's going on with it, but
they look cool. I don't know. I don't know. I like my mythicals as like this is one like there's one of them or like only a little amount and not like there is enough of these that they can have regional variants. I don't know. That's probably just me.
it's the thing. It's the thing. Pokemon.
And also I just really love the original trio, so I don't know. I do think they look very cool, but also the
The Meowth is weird.
Meowth is kind of weird, but I don't know. I think they do like Meowth regional variants dirty every time.
I think
They either
the
look
Galarian
weird
Meowth
already or
would
they
look
evolve
better.
into something weird. The Alolan Persian still makes me angry. Makes me unreasonably angry. The Alolan
I would be
Persian is a
better
fucking
with the
fiddlehead.
Alolan
Forgot
Persian
about that.
if the rest of its body was also sort of like tubby as well, and it wasn't just like sleek body
Yeah.
with that face.
Oh dear.
Yeah, if it was like
And
generally like stronger or bulkier, that'd be fine, but now it just has a bubble hat.
yeah, and
What if it was
Galarian
stung by a
Meowth,
bee?
I think would look better if it was a big fuzzy body and not a weird beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with a weird beard. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that the rest of his body looks very naked by comparison.
Okay, hang on. Headcanon. Headcanon time. You know every game's got their own, like, we need another Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then there's the new
Yeah.
one that's got, like, pockets, which is weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what are the Plusle and then the new one, and then Emolga. No, not Emolga?
Oh god, Twistle and Minun.
Emolga, yeah, and Pachirisu,
Yeah.
which is the most original because it's a squirrel.
That's kind of nice. Anyway, yeah. Headcanon. They're all just regional variants.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just go with that? Like, would that be worse?
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be worse.
I'll work with that.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Then they're not knockoffs. They're variants.
Yeah. They're variants. I mean, it's the same like line of thought essentially.
Yeah, but if you say they're variants,
We
then
want to do
you're
this
admitting
Pokemon,
it.
but again.
Yeah, variance is admitting it.
See, I still love that the Pikachu knockoff that is most beloved shtick is that it's a Pikachu knockoff. Like it's
Yeah.
explicitly trying
Yeah.
to
Mimikyu.
imitate
Mimikyu is great.
Yeah. I mean, it's also especially because the one just before it was just such a blatant Pikachu claim. It was the Den, which is just
Yeah.
the Den is just Pikachu, but that one literally is like a regional variant of Pikachu.
Do you know what
Like,
Deden looks
it's
like the
Pikachu, but slightly different, so it's not really Pikachu, but you know it's Pikachu.
Deden looks like the pre-evolution of Raichu. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what should evolve into Raichu.
Yeah. It's orange, it's
Myself
squishy.
personally, I don't mind the Pikachu knockoffs for each generation, with one
I don't
exception.
know.
And it's not because I don't like their design; it's because I despise how they were implemented. Twistle and Minun, that was a dumb idea.
What was the? What's the what?
Those are the two. Yeah, they're.
I know there are two of them. Yeah.
Like I said, they're cute, but how they were implemented in the original game, that's the first gen, I believe, where you've got ability now, and
Yeah.
their ability is basically only active when the other is on the field. So it only works in double battles, which is fine. I'm fine with abilities that are only active during double battle, but it's only active when specifically the other is in the double battle.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, in Gen 3, they had the exact same move that was mostly focused on being a support player in a double battle. So it's like...
yeah.
Oh, wonderful. You got 2 supports.
2 supports whose skill only goes off when the other support is on the field. And it's like, this is dumb. Who decided this? Like, I don't mind that there's 2 of them, and I don't mind the plus-minus thing, and I don't even mind that they're supposed to be supports. I mind that they're supposed to be supports, and their skill is only present when the other support is present. And move-wise, they were clones.
Yeah, I'm just...
Like,
yeah,
at least make them a little different.
You mind that they're supports for each other, essentially.
Aww.
Yeah.
They support each other while they get beaten up by the bigger kids.
Yeah, I get what they were going for, but it is kind of stupid. Because it
is just a bad idea all around. Now they've improved them somewhat. I believe in the more recent gens, their skill sets are a little bit different, and they added another possible ability to each of them that is more useful now. But the original implementation was just so bad. That was just...
What's interesting, looking at the Bulbapedia page for Plusle and Minun, and I was like, oh, I'll get a picture of them together. Nowhere on the Bulbapedia page for Plusle is there a picture of Minun anywhere. It's like, you would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, you like, even if it's not with like the stuff for the Pokedex stuff, I figured there'd be at least a screenshot from the anime that had both.
Yeah, I just googled Plusle and Minun, and like the first 4 pictures are screenshots from the anime with them together.
It kind of got a bit of divorce energy. There's this picture here, and it's like clearly Minun has been cut out of the picture. Like, love it.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, there's also a picture of Shiny Plusle and Minun, which Shiny Minun is fine. Shiny Plusle is just Plusle again.
Where are... Oh wait, is that it? Is that it?
Shiny Minun is green. Shiny Plusle is just Plusle. It's a slightly
I honestly
red.
can't tell whether or not I'm looking at a shiny picture.
It's a ever so slightly different red, so slightly that you can't really see it.
Yeah, you've got the same problem with Pikachu and Raichu, where their shinies are just slightly different shades of brown and yellow.
Like, it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that Twitch compression is going to make these identical. That's how close they are.
Yeah. They look ever so slightly different. Like, the shiny one is... I think it's the shiny one that's slightly darker, but like...
I feel like it's one of those things, if you can't tell when they're not together, it's not significant enough.
Yeah. I mean, like, also, the, like, Garchomp is one, like, very, like, infamous shiny where it's just so slightly different that you just, like...
I know, Garchomp's got, like, it's red velvet now. Oh no, it was red velvet. I can't remember which one's which. Oh no, hang on, that's somebody else trying to make a better one. That's okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't even find the actual one.
It's here. This is a version of it. It's just ever so slightly more muted, but
yeah.
But it's like, it's not, and especially in like 3D games, it's like, it's just in general, like, if you come across a shiny Garchomp, if you miss the sparkles, you will not know it's a shiny.
I'm just...
See, that's just Garchomp with a sun lamp in front of it.
Yeah, it's just different lighting, yeah. The thing, like, I've typed in shiny Garchomp. I'm still scrolling trying to find a picture of shiny Garchomp. I'm just finding fan remakes.
Yeah, they've made a lot of like remakes because everyone is mad about it.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
it's
I mean, I'm okay with not all shiny Pokemon being as cool as like shiny Charizard, because that's awesome. But and like everyone sort of jokes about, oh, when you've got shiny Pokemon, one of your options is it might just be lime green. I'm generally sort of okay with the lime green one. But
Generally,
yeah, when it's that
you
slight of a
should
difference,
be able
like,
to tell when you're looking at a shiny
Yeah,
without the
yeah,
sparkles.
for better or
it
worse.
should be an obvious difference.
Yeah, like if it's gonna be hot pink, it's gonna be hot pink, but at least it looks like a shiny, you know? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the bright pink and purple. Yeah, shiny Pokemon either don't look any different, look wicked cool, are hot pink or purple,
Awful.
or lime green.
Yeah, those are your options, really. And some of them pull off the lime green, and others just don't.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, shiny. I like.
Jolteon.
I do like how shinies
So
would
Jolteon and
just. Sorry, carry on.
You go.
I was just gonna say I just really like how this entire mechanic was implemented just because of shiny Pokemon cards. It's like, oh, they're really excited to get the shiny cards, the holographic ones. Let's implement in the game. It's like, should we give them glitter? No, change the colors. It's like, what? That's not what
Yeah.
happens with the cards. And then I guess at some point they probably also must have produced some actual like Pokemon cards with the shiny colors that aren't holographic. I'm sure they must have done that at some point because it's a money making scheme. But
Well, the fun thing is, if I remember correctly, because Gen 2 was the first game they had shinies in.
the shiny
A lot
Gyarados.
of the shinies were, and Gen 2 is notoriously famous for having many, 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 many sort of shoved in it using the same memory space. I swear I have no idea how they crammed all of that in there, but kudos on them. If I remember correctly, the way they generated the colors for the shinies is they essentially just took the color code in the game and just sort of systematically swapped a few things.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so much pink and lime. And then they just kept that.
Yeah. That's why they have the bright red.
But yeah, with
Gyarados.
some of the newer ones, there's no real excuse for why it should look more or less the same. They have the space now.
They can make them look cool, but no, still just lime green and hot pink.
I'm trying to find if they've done non-holographic shiny Pokemon cards because that idea is simultaneously invigorating and saddening to me. I don't know. It's difficult to find. Yeah. Pokémons. It's a game.
It's a game, and we play it.
Well, occasionally. It's been a while for me.
You're playing it right now. If I say you played, you played.
Yeah. It happened. I'm playing 3 games. I'm playing Bloodborne and Bioshock Infinite and Pokemon. This is like... all of these games are old now.
Yeah, well, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. Should we should we call whatever this stream was there?
I'm surprised we ran a half hour over. We really got active at the end there.
we spent longer on this stream than we did on streams where we know what we're doing. So, I don't know. I think it was worth it for the cat.
And it all started off with bread boxes.
Yeah. Lunch boxes, paper bags, It's all good. What a stream.
What a stream.
What a stream. Right, so yeah. Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks for the chit chat, everybody. I'll be back on Tuesday. Should we say we'll do Bloodborne on Tuesday, and then maybe we'll move the draw through to Wednesday? Because I know people have like Saturday stuff, but then I don't know how that is with Ragdoll. I don't know. Can't please everybody with time zones and things.
Yeah, so I won't be able to make Wednesday streams, but that's fine. It's whatever. I'm not the one running the stream. It's not like I have to be there.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, like, as on Saturdays, a lot of people do RPG stuff, and so
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's also more than just a singular person.
yeah. I don't want to say I'm sacrificing Ragdoll's enjoyment for the greater good. The greater good. But that is what I'm doing. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. It'll be fine. The plan, Tuesday as planned. We'll move things around. We'll work it out. We'll do a timeshare. We'll swap between Wednesdays and Saturdays. It doesn't have to be on a specific day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just change it every other week.
Yeah. One week it'll be on Monday. Throw everyone off.
It'll just be like, I mean, you won't even be like, hi, I'm streaming now, because you don't do that. We'll just have to figure it out by Twitch notifications.
Yeah, which obviously...
And we all know how reliable Twitch notifications are.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'll be back for Bloodborne on Tuesday, Bioshock on Monday, and... No, Wednesday. Wednesday? When's the day? Don't know. We'll find out.
What's when?
What's when? When's how? Infinite. So...
Yeah.
Yes. What are we saying?
Nothing.
What's going on? Nothing. Okay, cool. Apologies for whatever we're doing to your brain, Kiro. I'll be back on Tuesday. I need to leave before my brain melts. Thank you for chatting and doodling with me. It was a good time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Kira.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.